Hello everyone. Last time we have explained about the aquatic ecosystem. So in aquatic ecosystem there are three types of aquatic ecosystem. Last time we have explained an account of these three type of aquatic ecosystems such as freshwater ecosystem, then estuarine or brackish water ecosystem and the marine or seawater ecosystem. Today we are going to explain about the pond ecosystem. Students, the pond ecosystem is again the example of freshwater ecosystem. A pond is a stagnant water present in the inland region of the earth containing fresh water, and it serves as a good example of freshwater ecosystem. A pond is a self-sufficient and self-regulating system or the organization found among the freshwater ecosystems. So it is a self-sufficient because it contains all the components which are necessary for the survival or the sustenance of the freshwater ecosystem, such as biotic and abiotic factors in the form of living and non-living factors. The living factors or biotic components of the pond ecosystem possessing the plants, animals and the microorganisms together with abiotic or non-living component including the temperature, water, pH of the water, oxygen contents, organic, inorganic type of nutrients. So whatever the abiotic factors required for the growth and development of the biotic community that are found in the pond adequately. So the pond is a self-sufficient and self-regulating system, means there is a regulation of all the components among the biotic and abiotic or living and non-living community. There is a sort of regulation or the transformation or circulation or the accumulation kind of activities can also be observed among the living and non-living components of the pond ecosystem. It consists of both living and non-living components. Living components includes plants and animals together with microorganisms, and non-living components includes the light, sunlight, temperature and water, in which there are different type of nutrients, organic and inorganic nutrients, then oxygen, other gases, and the organic material or inorganic materials which are present in a dissolved condition. So the pond ecosystem consisting of adequate quantity of living and non-living components which are essential for growth, development or the sustenance of uh, the species of the plants, animals and the microorganisms in the pond ecosystem. So pond serves as a good example of freshwater ecosystem, and it is a self-sufficient and self-regulating system or organization, as it has adequate quantity of living and non-living components which are essential for the proper functioning of the or biological functions of the pond water or freshwater ecosystem. Then the biotic components of the pond ecosystem, that includes the again three categories, that is producers, consumers, and the decomposers. So among the producers, the green plants and some photosynthetic bacteria are present in the pond ecosystem as autotrophs. Means they are capable of undergoing process of photosynthesis and producing their food themselves. So the producers are the green plants, and there are some photosynthetic bacteria also present in the freshwater pond, and both of which serves as the producers as they fix or they traps the radiant solar energy and transform it into the carbohydrates or the sugars by the process of photosynthesis. Then producers are of again two types. One, that is macrophytes. Macrophytes, these are somewhat larger aquatic plants or algae. These are partly or completely submerged or rooted or floating larger hydrophytes. So hydrophytes means these are the green plants which are occurring in the freshwater pond or in a water. So the macrophytes are the larger hydrophytes or the aquatic plants. These are partly or completely submerged or rooted or floating on the surface of water. And this includes the Typha, Cara, Hydrilla, Spirodila, Limna, Ecornia. So these are the some of the larger hydrophytes called as macrophytes forming the photosynthetic plants or the producers. Then secondly, phytoplanktons. So these are small minute floating or suspended lower plants. These are either filamentous algae such as Zygnema, Yellowthrix, Spirogyra, Diatoms, Volvox, Anabena, Spirulina. So these are the different type of small or microscopic aquatic plants or the flora which are occurring either floating along the surface of pond or may be suspended along the midway of the water, and this includes the lower plants uh, like algae, and these are either filamentous algae and including Zygnema, Elothrix, Spirogyra, Diatoms, Volvox, Anabena, and the Spirulina. So that type of phytoplanktons are present in the freshwater ponds and serves as a producer because they are having ability to undergo the process of photosynthesis or autotrophs as they themselves produce their food in the form of carbohydrates by the process of photosynthesis. Then second category of the biotic components of the pond ecosystem are the consumers. So these are the animals or the heterotrophs. Heterotrophs which are not able or they are unable to produce their food themselves but are dependent on to the producers and thus are called as heterotrophs. So these are the animals and are called as heterotrophs depending on producers for their nutrition. Most of the consumers are herbivores and feeding on the plant material. Whereas insects, some fish and the frog etc. they serve as carnivores and feeding on the herbivores. Even there are some omnivores which can feed upon aquatic plants as well as aquatic organisms and may be called as omnivores. For example, herbivores, that is insect larvae, beetles, mites, mollusks, and crustaceans, they serve as herbivores, and the zooplanktons such as rotifers, euglena, cyclops. So the zooplanktons, these are the small microscopic or submicroscopic organisms including Rotifera, Euglena like protozoan, and the Cyclops. These serve as a zooplankton and they are feeding upon to the phytoplanktons or the small microscopic plants, aquatic plants or the algae. And thus, the consumers of the pond ecosystem includes all all type of feeders and or the consumers including herbivores, omnivores, carnivores, even there are some scavengers or detritivores which are feeding on to the dead and decaying organic matter of the bottom of the pond. So the consumers are the animals, they are heterotrophs and depending upon producers or the aquatic plants may be macrophytes or microphytes or the phytoplankton for their nutrition or the food. Most of the consumers are herbivores and feeding on to the plant materials, whereas some insect, fish and frog, they serve as a carnivores and feeding on the herbivores. The some are omnivores also and herbivores, that is insect larvae, beetles, mites, mollusks and the crustaceans which are feeding on to the uh, some plant materials and serves as a herbivores and which are then devoured or consumed by the fish or some insects and the frog like carnivores. So there are different categories of the consumers including herbivores, carnivores or omnivores and even the detritivores or the scavenger type of feeders can also occur in the or present in the freshwater ponds or the pond ecosystem. Then thirdly, the decomposers. So these can be called as micro consumers. So microscopic or submicroscopic organisms and they are some kind of small invertebrates or the worms or even there are bacteria. There are different type of bacteria, fungi and some smaller invertebrates. They serve as a micro consumers or the decomposers and feeding on dead and decaying organic matter of the plant and animal origin and thus causing their decomposition. And this includes decomposers or the microconsumers includes bacteria, actinomycetes and the fungi. Then, so this is the account of the biotic component of the pond ecosystem, that is producers, consumers and the decomposers. Then abiotic components or non-living factors such as water with a variable pH or different pH water, then temperature of water, then sunlight which penetrates the pond and may reaches up to the bottom if the water is clear or completely transparent or pure. Then it also contains large quantity of inorganic compounds such as carbon dioxide, calcium, nitrogen, phosphates, amino acids, humic acids, etc. So these are the some of the organic and inorganic compounds present in the water of the pond ecosystem, and these constituents are essential for the survival of the living factors. So the abiotic factors, which are the non-living factors and are present in the form of either organic or inorganic constituents of the water together with abiotic factors or the parameters like temperature, water, light, uh, that are also the important abiotic factors essential for the living factors or the living components of the pond ecosystem. Then this is a image showing the pond ecosystem and its basic structural units, the abiotic and biotic components. The abiotic components, which are in the form of inorganic and organic compounds, and biotic factors includes producers, consumers, and decomposers. So, in this image, we can see the a pond with water and composed of or consisting of different type of uh, abiotic factors representing the sun from above. So sunlight that penetrates the pond water and provides sunlight to the process for the producers or the autotrophs, which includes either submerged, completely or partially submerged, or floating or rooted aquatic plants or the algae, and that may be macrophytes or the phytoplankton, but are capable of undergoing the process of photosynthesis. So ultimately these green plants of the freshwater pond undergo the process of photosynthesis and producing carbohydrates or the food themselves. And these autotrophs or the producers are then used by the consumers. So consumers may be again the smaller one can be called as zooplankton like uh, uh, zooplanktons like Rutifera or the protozoan like Euglena or even the small uh, insect larvae or the different type of protozoans, maybe paramecium also. So there are different type of smaller invertebrate organisms and they serve as the zooplanktons and which feed on to the microscopic plants or the aquatic algae and forming the primary consumers or the herbivores or herbivore organisms of the pond water. Then these smaller phytoplankton, zooplanktons, this can be consumed by the primary carnivores or the secondary consumers. So primary consumers are the herbivores and can be explained or described as a zooplankton. So whatever the uh, organisms, aquatic animals which are feeding on to the aquatic plants, maybe on the macrophytes or to the onto the phytoplanktons, can be called as herbivores or a primary consumers. And these primary consumers are then consumed or eaten up by the some insects, some fishes, even frogs like carnivores or the secondary consumers. And these secondary consumers or the primary secondary consumers or the primary carnivores can be eaten up or consumed by the secondary carnivores or the tertiary consumers, and thus the energy in the form of food or the nutrients can be transferred from producers to the consumers to the different trophic levels, from the first trophic to second or third trophic levels in and passes through the food chain. So the pond, the image showing all the components, that is biotic and abiotic components of the pond water or the freshwater ecosystem, pond water ecosystem or freshwater ecosystem, and having uh, almost all components present adequately in the pond, and that's why it can be a self-sufficient and self-regulating system or a organization and forming a, a basic or a structural and functional unit, forming a structural and functional unit of the biosphere. So it is a smallest or a single unit. It is a individual unit or a basic unit of the biosphere where it is a self-sufficient and self-regulating system or the ecosystem, and as it has all the features or the all characteristics or the all components in the form of biotic and abiotic factors present adequately in the pond. So this is the image of the pond ecosystem showing its basic structural unit, containing abiotic and the biotic factors or the components. Abiotic factors includes the inorganic and organic compounds, may be complex or free components present in the form of nutrients or the elements, inorganic minerals, and the organic compounds can contain different type of plant or animal components such as proteins, fats, or the carbohydrates, then amino acids. So all kind of organic compounds can present in the water. Then biotic components of the pond ecosystem, they are producers, consumers, and the decomposers, and are present sufficiently in the pond water. So this diagram or the image shows the biotic and abiotic components of the pond ecosystem, and thus it becomes a normal or properly functioning or operating ecosystem representing the basic unit, structural and functional unit of the biosphere. Then characters of the pond ecosystem. Characters of the pond ecosystem. So pond ecosystem is a open system with a continuous variable influx or input and loss of materials and the energy. So it means the pond ecosystem is an open system and it shows a continuous and regular variable influx or the input and the loss of the materials and the energy. Means whatever the interaction, it means there are different type of interactions representing the uh, circulation, representing the circulation of the material, then accumulation of the material in the form of biotic components, either in the form of producers and consumers, that is plants and animals, which are formed or composed of the cells, and these cell components are composed of different type of organic and inorganic constituents which are brought into the plants and animals from the abiotic components of the pond ecosystem, and that's why there is a continuous or a variable influx and the loss of the materials from the biotic and abiotic components, and also there is a transfer or the transformation of the energy, transfer and transformation of the energy from the abiotic factors to the biotic factors, and again back from biotic factors to the abiotic factors. So this is a kind of transformation, circulation, accumulation kind of activities happening in the pond water ecosystem, and thus it is a open system. It is a ecosystem and is a open type of ecosystem with a continuous and the variable influx or the inputs and the loss of materials and energy. Then it is the smallest unit of the biosphere. It is a smallest unit of biosphere because the pond ecosystem is having, as already we have explained, that the pond ecosystem consisting of biotic and abiotic components of different types, and these are interacting with one another. So biotic community or the biotic components of the pond ecosystem in the form of producers or autotrophs, consumers or the heterotrophs, and even the decomposers. So all the three type of biotic factors or the biotic components of the pond water ecosystem, they are interacting with one another. They are interacting with one another together with they interact with the abiotic factors of the pond ecosystem, that is the environment or the habitat whatever present in the pond. So it is a smallest unit of the biosphere. So it is a self-sufficient, self-regulating, self-operating ecosystem, and thus forming a smallest unit of the biosphere. It is a overall integration of all organisms that interact with each other and their environment. So the pond water ecosystem is a overall integration or the aggregation of all the organisms, that is producers, consumers and the decomposers, all type of organisms which are living together, interacting together, and they at the same time they interact with their physical environment or the aquatic habitat of the freshwater pond. Then it consists of biotic and abiotic components interacting with each other. This is again another characteristic of the pond water ecosystem, that is it consists of biotic and abiotic components and these interacts with each other. Then pond water ecosystem is capable of energy transformation. The pond water ecosystem is capable of energy transformation, that is abiotic biotic to biotic and biotic to back into abiotic components. That is the transformation of energy or the transformation of materials or the transformation of the food or the nutritional components from the physical factors of the pond to the biotic factors, that is plants, animals and the microorganisms. So this is a sort of transformation of the energy or the materials. Then the circulation, it is capable of energy transformation. Then circulation, that is there is a continuous cycle of the transfer of materials from the physical environment of the pond or abiotic factors of the pond to the living communities. That is the circulation. And the accumulation. Accumulation is again whatever the nutritional components or the organic and inorganic components which are taken up by the living communities or the biotic factors from the abiotic or the physical parameters or the physical components of the pond or the habitat that are stored or that are accumulated in the form of aquatic plants and the animals. So the bodies or the building block or the bodies or the multicellular organisms, that is plants and animals, which are composed of different type of organic and inorganic materials, and that are simply produced by the producers and stored in them, and some of them are then transferred to the consumers, where also the consumers stores or the retains some part of it and some part is lost, or even after the death of these plants and animals they get decomposed, and ultimately the abiotic factors or the physical parameters, non-living factors, that are released back into the pond ecosystem or the pond water. So this is a sort of energy transformation, circulation and the accumulation, and all these activities happening regularly in the pond ecosystem. The organization of various species in the ecosystem, the organization of or formation of or the presence of various species in the pond ecosystem, that may be the plants, animals and the microorganisms, and their abundance, reproduction, means simply whatever the species of living organisms including plants, animals and microorganisms, they appears in the pond, they grows, attains their maturity and undergoing their reproduction or the propagation, and thus all these activities, that is presence of different species of organisms, living organisms, their abundance, reproduction, etc., determines the functioning of the ecosystem. It determines the functioning of the ecosystem. All organisms of the ecosystem are interconnected. All the organisms of the ecosystem are interconnected and interdependent through the activities like predation, symbiosis, parasitism, etc. So these are the different type of animal associations or the relationships or the type of interactions, may be interspecific or the intraspecific interactions, and these interspecific or intraspecific interactions may be in the form of predation or competition or symbiosis or the parasitism, and such type of activities can also be found in the pond water ecosystem or in the pond ecosystem among all type of uh, living organisms which are independent with one another, together with they are interdependent onto the physical environment or different factors of the pond ecosystem. Then functions of the pond ecosystem. Functions of the pond ecosystem. So the pond ecosystem uh, exhibits the important function, that is the aquatic plants which use the solar energy for their food production, that is by the process of photosynthesis. So the pond ecosystem performing the first and important function of the process of photosynthesis, and this is essential this is essential for the growth of the producer or the aquatic plants or the autotrophs themselves. Together with, it is important or essential for the feeding of the consumers or the herbivores. So the pond ecosystem having the first important function, that is the pond ecosystem consisting of aquatic plants in the form of macrophytes and microphytes. Macrophytes and microphytes or the hydrophytes, and these are capable of process of photosynthesis. So by the process of photosynthesis, these aquatic plants produce their food themselves, and thus whatever the aquatic plants or the producers present in the pond water ecosystem that are produced only due to their ability or capacity of process of photosynthesis. So they themselves produce their food, and that can satisfy the nutritional need of the other organisms or consumers side by side. Then another function of the pond ecosystem, that is path or a way of transformation or the transfer of energy from the abiotic factors to the biotic factors, or the flow of energy from abiotic factors or the pond water to the producers and then to the consumers. Again from either producers or consumers, on their death or their decomposition, all these components are released back in the pond water. So this is a kind of path or a cycle or a circulation of the energy in the form of energy rich materials. So these are the materials, may be organic and inorganic constituents, may be minerals, elements, or the proteins, fats, or carbohydrates, or the oxygen, carbon dioxide, then phosphates, nitrates. So all these compounds which are essential for the growth of producers. Again, these are responsible for the growth and development of the consumers. So there is a sort of a type of path or a cycle of transfer or transformation of the energy flow from producers to the consumers. So this is what about the pond ecosystem. Next time we'll explain the marine ecosystem. So today we'll stop here, and next time we'll continue with second type of aquatic ecosystem, that is marine ecosystem.